So when I first started my channel, I had about 500 subscribers and I got contacted for one of my first collaborations, and that was from a house out of Canada called Zoha Aroma that is known for their inspired by concoctions and oils, as well as their own originals, which are actually phenomenal. If you ever get the chance to try out their original fragrances, they are spectacular. With that said, they reached out to me about 2 or 3 weeks ago again and said, hey, we have 5 new fragrances. If you would like to pick 3, we'll send them to you. If you want to review them, go ahead. If not, whatever. But they sent these in. The ones that I picked were the inspired by concoctions of Blue Talisman, Pacific Chill, and Lorenzo Pizzaglia's Summer Hammer. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. Tropical Fury, Coastal Haze, and Blue Sparkle, which is the Blue Talisman one. So that's what we're talking about today. So without further ado, let's get it. What's good, my great smelling dudes? Welcome back to my channel. My name's Randy, aka FragranceDoud, back at you, doing some whiffing and some sniffing, talking about some fragrances, and they're inspired by concoctions from the house of Zoha Aroma. Thank you again to the owner over there, Nafi, who included me in this collaboration. With that said, before we get into them, make sure to hit the subscribe button, smash that like, comment below, let me know which ones you're interested in, or if any of these sound good. Again, they contacted me and said they had 5 new releases. I don't remember the 5th one. I know the 4th one's inspired by Stephanie Humbert Lucas Pink Boa. So if you're interested in that, they do have that over there. Their fragrances come in this size, which is 55 milliliters for $45. You can use the code FragDoud 15, FragDoud 15, and you get 15% off. They gave me that code years ago, and I know it still works because somebody used it the other day. But the ones I chose were Blue Sparkle, which is inspired by Blue Talisman by Ex Nihilo Blue Talisman. The next one is Coastal Haze, which is inspired by Louis Vuitton's Pacific Chill. And the last one, I had a decant of the original. I will be buying a full bottle. It's inspired by Lorenzo Pizzaglia, and that is Summer Hammer. This is Tropical Fury. And then they also have a new size, which runs for $27 or $22. I can't remember. I'll put it up on the screen. But I believe it's 20 milliliters or 25 milliliters. Again, I should have done my research beforehand. Sorry, Nafi. But it's all about the fragrances anyway. So the last time I did a collaboration, I probably have 15 or 16 bottles from their house at this point in time. Zoha Aroma is known for their inspired by concoctions. They also have inspired by oils if you want like a thicker, longer lasting. I know their Aventus oil smells like the original batch. It has that really heavy pineapple, and I love the oil. The oil is like next level. They also have their own originals that I finally tried last time, and I gotta say that one smelled like a coffee shop with amber. It was just fantastic. So if you can ever get the chance to try out their originals, definitely do so. Anyway, so how do these ones smell? I have worn each of them, and so I can give you a nice breakdown of what they smell like. I'm going to start with the one that I only have a decant of the original, which is actually gone now. This is, again, inspired by Lorenzo Pizzaglia's Sangria, or Summer Hammer. This is Tropical Fury. And if you haven't smelled Summer Hammer, it literally smells like tropical, like zebra stripe gum, like juicy fruit gum. It's gonna be that kind of mango pineapple blend that you know from a lot of like Kajal Aiken and a lot of other tropical God of Fire. That's what I was trying to think of. Those type of fragrances. This one really had more of, at least, that fruit stripe gum, bubble gum, juicy fruit gum to me. While the mango does stand out and the pineapple stands out, it does come across more, like slightly more synthetic as far as the Lorenzo Pizzaglia. And then I tried this one out. I sprayed it on my hand about 20 minutes ago again. This smells like Summer Hammer together with God of Fire. It has a slight little powdery aspect. It has that juicy fruit gum, that blast of mango and pineapple in the opening. It is bright. It is juicy. It's almost making me not want to go buy Summer Hammer because of the fact that while it's not a spot on, and I've told you guys this a bunch of times, there is specific fragrances out, the tropical fragrances, that stand apart, whether it be Lomari Porthole, Narcotica Limonada, which kind of smells like Porthole. But then there's like Atelier's Pacific Lime or Creed's Virgin Island Water. They do something their own. And then you have kind of like this mashup of a bunch of fragrances that have this mango, passion fruit, powdery, bubblegummy aspect. And that can factor in with Icon and Summer Hammer and God of Fire. There's a lot of them that have been out, and none of them really wow me. Summer Hammer to me it's either that or Kajal Icon. Like, I'm not a huge fan of God of Fire. The other two I really enjoy. And so this one, Tropical Fury, while it's not a spot-on clone, which I know a lot of people really like to look for, and that's what I really enjoy about this. It says the notes are bergamot, mango, coconut, pineapple, rum, musk, and sandalwood. I mean, obviously it's going to be inspired by, so it's going to have that boozy tropical feeling to it. While the booze in Summer Hammer was really never really pronounced, in this one it does show its face a little bit stronger, which is why, and that's the twist. Do you want a Summer Hammer that has a little bit more boozy to it? Or do you want the Summer Hammer original that costs $150 more that doesn't have as much booze to it? And this one isn't a booze-heavy fragrance in the least, but it's just, it shows its face a little bit more so you can notice it. But as far as the opening, it's like a spot-on mix of Summer Hammer if you added a bit of God of Fire and then just amped up a little bit of a boozy tone. And then when you get to the dry down, you get more of that musk and woods coming in. And it really does it justice. And it's performing very nicely. Summer Hammer was never a heavy performer. It was about 5 to 6 hours at moderate. This one seems it's above average. And as far as the actual projection, I have got to about 7 hours with it, but I took it off my skin at that point in time. So if I'm getting 7 hours from a tropical fragrance, I don't really care. But past that, it doesn't matter. If you're getting this fragrance, 50 milliliters for under $40 using my code, I mean, this is definitely worth it. If you like Summer Hammer, but you didn't want to spend the price, I can definitely say Tropical Fury is a great addition to any collection if you're looking to save some money for sure. Anyway, going into the next one. This is Blue Sparkle, which is inspired by concoction of Blue Talisman. Now, Blue Talisman, this one gets a little bit more different. Blue Talisman, it depends on what you get from the fragrance. It's a skin chemistry scent, and what that means is you have most people on one side or the other side of the fence, and then a few people in the middle. The one side of the fence is you get a lot of pear. And for me, that's it. I get about 80% pear from Blue Talisman. And then I get underneath that this kind of woody, semi-spicy shower gel scent. Then on the other side, you have people that have that flip-flopped. You have that woody, spicy shower gel scent with a little bit of pear and citrus underneath it. And which one are you? Or are you just somebody who's just right in the middle? Most of the time, the people who get a ton of pear are the ones who love it. The other side of the coin is the people who just find it average or mid, I should say, or not worth the price. And that's the people that get that blue spicy shower. I mean, I've seen people comparing this to Castley, which to me makes no sense. But on the other side of the coin, again, if I am taking away that pear and just smelling the dry down, then maybe I could understand what you're saying. So it's a try before you buy. Do not blind buy it until you know which person you are. And if you're one of those ones that are in the middle, then make your decision on whether you want to buy it. I don't know. Anyway, so how does this stack up in comparison? I've tried Art of the Universe, That one has pieces of Blue Talisman. Don't let anybody tell you that one is a clone. I haven't tried Talisman Electric or anything like that, but Art of the Universe has pieces of Blue Talisman while doing its own thing. This one, it's closer to Blue Talisman than Art of the Universe, 100%. It still has an inspired by feel to it, but if you are one of those people that like that fruity aspect of what Blue Talisman brings, that pear, and then you get that bright citrus, this one just adds a little bit more to it. The Blue Sparkle, it just adds a little bit more citrus, so you get this brighter, more zingy opening, and then that pear is there. I sprayed this on about an hour ago, and while the woods is a little bit pronounced more in the dry down, I can tell you this is almost like an even keel version of both sides of what people were looking at. You either had the heavy pear or you didn't. This one kind of brings it into the middle, if not a little bit on the side of the fruitiness, which I really enjoy because it stacks up that blue shower gel and spice with the woods, and it blends it really nicely with the pear while still having the pear as a heavy note, but not overwhelming like what I get with Blue Talisman. And so I really enjoy how they did this here. Smells very high quality. The pear that they put in here is great. Let me see what the notes are on the side. I didn't look at them. Bergamot, pear, mandarin, ginger, orange, blossom, and musk. So that's why there is a little bit of difference, because the woodiness that I get from Blue Talisman does feel a bit different. He doesn't have the full note breakdown, but I'm guessing there is some kind of woods that he's using. It does smell a little bit different than the woods that you get in that blue shower jelly spicy woodiness that you get from Blue Talisman, but I digress. If you're looking for something that is 85 to 90% Blue Talisman, but with its own twist, Blue Sparkle is absolutely a decent one to get. I wouldn't say I haven't found the Blue Talisman clone that would get you perfect. So if you're looking for the clone of Blue Talisman, none of them really have gotten there. Again, I haven't tried Talisman Electric. But again, this is inspired by concoction. So it's inspired by it, but doing its own thing. And I like the way that they really blended that blue shower gel and the pear together like I was hoping that they would have in the original Blue Talisman. But for the $40 price tag, you're really not going to find one. At least I like this better than Art of the Universe. You can let me know what you guys think of it once you try it, but Blue Sparkle did a really good job. Nafi did a really good job over there at Zoha Aroma. The blend is nice. The quality is good. It's just everything smells like, hey, this is Blue Talisman with a twist. If you've smelled Blue Talisman before, you'll know exactly what this is trying to tell you. And you'll know exactly what it's trying to fix from Blue Talisman. And they did a perfect job. As far as the performance, I got about 6 hours in and it was starting to fade. So I would say it's more around the 5 to 6 hour range. So nothing heavy. Blue Talisman for me was also around like the 6 to 7 hour range. So it's right in that same realm. Didn't really push out heavy, but it does stay moderate to above average. I've never really had issues with Zoha Aroma with the scent profile at all, ever. I know the last time that he sent me a couple fragrances, I had one fragrance that to me, it just didn't smell like the original at all. But with these two, at least, actually all three, once I get to the third one, you'll know. All three of them, this is more down the road of inspired by concoctions. And so if you're looking for straight clones, you don't get them here. There are some from the house that are straight clones, but all of these are inspired by fragrances with a slight twist. So if you're okay with that, if you're okay with something like, again, it's Summer Hammer mixed with pieces of God of Fire, and then this kind of woody tone in the dry down, and a little bit more like, almost like fizzy in the opening. This one is a little bit less of the pear than what I get from Blue Talisman, and then you still get that woods in the shower jelly vibe all blended together, and it's a bit brighter in the opening. And then now we're talking about Coastal Haze, which is a clone of Pacific Chill or inspired by concoction of Pacific Chill. I have smelled probably 30 inspired by concoctions and clones of Pacific Chill. Am I going to say this one gets it the closest? No. I am not going to say it gets it the closest. Am I going to say that for the price and the fact that they're trying to do something slightly different to inspire itself off of that fragrance while standing alone? I think that they did a fantastic job in that. So if you're looking for Louis Vuitton's Pacific Chill, you're not getting that 100%. I would still put it at the 80% mark. While it still has that apricot kind of peachy mixture in the opening, the mint is definitely there. I sense a bit of like a spicy tone from this one, which I really actually enjoy. And my wife, who wears this all the time, she wears this all the time. I mean, we got this not even a year ago, and it's like half gone. But I'm trying to see. Let's see what are in the notes. Orange, citron, mint, basil, black currant, apricot, fig, dates, rose, and ambrette. I can't think of anything there that would really provide this slight spicy tone to me, but I actually really enjoy it. If you end up trying this, it does get the fruitiness pretty much right on par. There's a little bit of a depth to the fruitiness you don't get from Pacific Chill, and now that I just read it, I think it's from the fig. This is the first time actually looking at the note breakdowns. But the fig and dates mixed together with the apricot and then also the black currant, that's where it's adding some depth to the fruitiness. That's interesting. Fig and dates with the ambrette mixed together, that might be what's just providing that kind of like darker spicy tone to me. Like it's a darker fruitiness, but it gives it a little bit of spice, because dates sometimes and ambrette can have a little bit of a spicy tone to it. I think that might be what it is. And I actually really enjoy that. So again, I just want to give you guys a heads up, because I don't want somebody to go and buy these based on my recommendations and say, hey, you said that smelled like blah, 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 blah. I'm telling you, there's a reason why these are called inspired by concoctions. Because some of them, while they do, it might be an easier DNA to just, or a more simplistic DNA, like Afternoon Swim. Their Afternoon Swim is just like almost a spot-on clone. But if you get something like Blue Sparkle, it's just a twist on the DNA. While each of them is above 80% close to the original, I still would say that these are inspired by with twists. And all three of them, I gotta say, out of the 4 hauls I've had from Zoha Aroma in the last 3 years, this is the best haul that I've had from them. All 3 of these are ones that I would actually wear myself, because of the fact, just to save myself from having to wear Pacific Chill, or if I am getting tired out on Pacific Chill and I want to wear something that is similar but with a twist, that's what I would get from the Coastal Haze. If I'm getting tired out from the heavy pear from Blue Talisman, Blue Sparkle is a great addition. And you can get all 3 of these fragrances with my code under maybe like $100, $105, which is crazy. And if you get the smaller bottles, you can get all 3 of them for under $75, which is still nuts. So that is the 3 fragrances I chose from the House of Zoha Aroma. I think all 3, I would rank. My favorite of the 3 would probably be, I would say, yeah, the Coastal Haze is probably my favorite, just because I like that fruity spiciness. I just really enjoy it. But then these 2 are tied. But I would say that they're all an 8, maybe an 8.2 or 8.3. I think they did a really, really good job with them. Again, just don't count on them being exact clones. I would just say that for all 3 of them, it's kind of like a closer clone than Art of the Universe is, while still maintaining a slight distance from the original. And I think they're very good. So anyway, let me know if you try these out. Again, the code is FragDoud15. And again, I'll be back with another video.